And it took a while, a little bit too long to kind of clear her throat and get it out. And the truth of the matter is, if I wasn't there, she probably wouldn't be here. Hello, yes, we are still in the grey hoodie because my daughter decided to sleep longer than 20 minutes today. So I am going to use this time and continue to film as long as I can. Hi, hello, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm NikiGrace, and today in Maternity Talks we're talking about the controversial topic of babies sleeping on their stomach. Yes. So in the UK, the NHS has said do not put your baby to sleep on their stomach because that is the cause of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. And me, personally, I'm not buying it, okay? I don't want to put out any false information, so I'm not going to tell you what I heard because it's hearsay, right? So I'm just going to say that I just don't buy it. I believe that there's other factors that would cause your child to suffocate. For example, if you put your baby to sleep on their stomach and there's like toys, you know, soft toys, maybe pillows, maybe blankets around them, then yes, they could suffocate. Makes sense. If you smoke around your child, well, I mean, that's really self-explanatory, you know. The damage that smoking does to adults, you can imagine what it does to babies. And if they're on their stomach and they can't breathe properly and they've got the smoke thing going, I mean, you got to make it make sense. There's definitely other factors. I definitely don't believe it really has anything to do with just babies sleeping on their stomach if they're in a perfectly safe environment. That just doesn't make sense. Anyways, that comes back to the point where my baby started to sleep on her stomach from about 1 month, I think about 1 month. So what happened was we put her on her back because she couldn't move her head from side to side, and babies tend to be pretty happy sleeping on their back right at the beginning anyway. So that was fine, no problem. Use the swaddles, do all the things, cool. And then she got to a point where she would not sleep if she wasn't on her front. So you're trying to tell me, so I sleep never? I sleep never is what you're saying to me. I said to the health visitor, I said, look, she's not sleeping on her back when I put her down. She was like, I mean, the health visitor was lovely, by the way, but I'm just trying to tell you that these guys will stick to the NHS guidance, National Health Services, I think. They will stick to their NHS guidelines regardless of whether it makes sense or not. And she just said, oh, you know, just pat her, you know, and, you know, touch her and make her know that you're there. How is that going to help her go to sleep? She's not happy, bro. She does not want to sleep on her back. And so it was one of them where I had to do what I thought was best. And bear in mind, me and my siblings all got put down on our front. We all slept on our front. And even as a human, as like a grown-up, grown-ups barely sleep on their back. Most of us, or a lot of us, sleep on our front because it's more comfortable. You feel quite open and vulnerable on your back, right? So for babies, they're also going to feel uncomfortable. Another thing for me is my baby had acid reflux, so she choked on her mucus. So you're trying to tell me that I put my baby on her back to sleep, she chokes on her mucus, and then what? How's she gonna get the mucus out? Because if a baby's on their front, then naturally it'll just come out, right? But if your baby's on their back, so there was one instance where my baby was sleeping on her back, me trying to follow, she was quite young anyways, but I think she could move her head from side to side, so she didn't need to be on her back, but she was on her back. And she was choking on her mucus and she was turning blue. And it took a while, a little bit too long to kind of clear her throat and get it out. And the truth of the matter is, if I wasn't there, she probably wouldn't be here. I always ask God to be my eyes and my ears, because as much as we try to do as mothers, we can only do so much. And so God will always watch my baby, even if I'm not watching my baby. And so the whole, oh yeah, she'll just naturally turn her head to her side. What? Are you okay? So this is where mum instinct has to kick in and be like, I'm sorry, thanks for the suggestion, but I'm gonna go with me. She's my child, I think I know best. I'm gonna have to go with me because you're chatting absolute rubbish. Especially when they say, like, you don't put them down on their stomach, but if you put them on their back and they roll, then you can leave them on their stomach. Does that make sense to you? As a grown adult with enough brain cells, does that make sense to you? If it's dangerous to sleep, if it's dangerous for a baby to sleep on their stomach, period, right, up until the age of 1, is it? They say they shouldn't sleep on their stomach. If a baby starts to roll and in the middle of their sleep, they roll from their back to their stomach, it's okay to leave them. Oh, because they'll just roll back. Well, if they can roll anyways, isn't it okay for me to just put my baby down on their stomach anyways? Because they will roll anyways. I mean, that topic rattled me. It honestly rattled me. I'm someone who's like, do what you want to do in it. It's your child. Put them on their back, put them on their front. But don't tell me, especially with an acid reflux baby, to put my baby on their back, because you're taking the absolute mick. And I do feel like, no, let me not say that. I honestly don't want to put out like information. I was just gonna say, take this with a pinch of salt, that there's probably been instances where people have like listened to the NHS because you've trusted them with your whole heart and chest, which is fine. You trusted them with your whole heart and chest, and now something's gone wrong because you listened to them instead of going with your mother's instinct. I bet that's happened, you understand? Because you trust them so much. Anyway, I would say mother's instinct is just so important, okay? There's actually a film called Mother's Instinct with Anne Hathaway and someone else. It's actually really good, you should watch it. But anyway, yeah, I don't buy it, okay? It's propaganda I am not falling for. So, you know, from quite a young age, my baby has been sleeping on her stomach. You know, she's big now, but, and she still sleeps on her stomach, but she rolls everywhere, so it doesn't really matter at this point. But I think there's definitely more factors, so don't feel bad that you want to sleep and that you also want your baby to sleep if they need to be put on their front. I've seen firsthand of my baby being put on her back, choke and continue to choke until I pick her up. So yeah, I mean, just be careful. You know, you can take the advice of the NHS and the professionals and so on and so forth, but you know, mother's instinct comes first. I don't know if you watched my birthing video, but when I first went into the hospital, they told me I was 9 centimeters dilated. A few hours later, I found out I was only 6 centimeters dilated, 6 or 7 centimeters dilated. So everyone's human, right? The only person that knows is God, right? We're all out here on this earth just trying. So just be careful, mother's instinct, and also just do what you want with your baby. As long as they're safe and you're watching them. Because when I first started to put my baby down on her stomach, I stayed awake for those first few nights. I wanted to make sure that she was okay, everything was good, she was turning her head, she was doing all the things, and she was. So now she's a happy, healthy, beautiful toddler baby, and yeah, she's growing. Anyway, that was just my little 2 cents on putting your baby down on their stomach. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.